I watched my mother scrub the same toilet for the third time that morning, her knees pressed against cold marble tiles that cost more than our yearly rent, and I knew something terrible was about to happen. My name is Grace Okoro, and 24 hours ago, I was the top student at Westfield Academy. 24 hours ago, I had a future. Now, standing in the principal's office with my scholarship letter crumpled in Mrs. Peterson's fist, I had nothing but questions burning holes in my chest. "You cheated," Mrs. Peterson said. Not asked. Said. The word hit me like a slap. Behind her, through the glass window, I could see my mother in her cleaning uniform, pushing a cart down the hallway. She didn't know I was here. She didn't know her daughter was being called a thief. "I didn't cheat," I said. My voice came out smaller than I wanted. Mrs. Peterson opened a folder. Inside were copies of my exam papers. Red circles marked all over them. These answers are identical to another student's work. Word for word. My stomach dropped. That's impossible. I studied for weeks. My mom can tell you. I stayed up every night. Where were you during the exam? In the hall. Seat 14. Same seat I always. And who sat next to you? I froze. My throat went dry. Answer the question, Grace. Emma Peterson. Her daughter. The principal's face didn't change, but something flickered in her eyes. Something cold. Emma reported suspicious behavior during the exam. She said you kept looking at her paper. That's a lie. The words exploded out of me. I never, Mrs. Peterson. I would never cheat. You know my grades. I've been first in every class since freshman year. Which makes this even more disappointing. She stood up, walking around her desk. She was tall, white, wearing a suit that probably cost more than my mother's monthly salary. The scholarship committee called this morning. They're very concerned. They want to see me and Emma tomorrow for verification. My heart was hammering so hard I thought it might break through my ribs. Emma? Why Emma? Because she was the original recipient of the scholarship before your scores came in. Mrs. Peterson smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Before someone decided to take shortcuts. I wanted to scream. I wanted to flip the desk. I wanted to grab that folder and shove it in her face and make her see the truth. But I was 16, black, and my mother worked in this building. So I stood there, shaking, trying not to cry. The hearing is Monday, Mrs. Peterson said. You're suspended until then. Leave your books in your locker and go home. But I didn't. This conversation is over. I walked out of that office in a daze. The hallway felt too bright, too loud. Students stared at me as I passed. Someone whispered. Someone else laughed. By the end of the day, everyone would know. I found my mother in the chemistry lab, spraying down counters. When she saw my face, she dropped the bottle. Grace? Baby, what happened? I couldn't speak. The words were stuck behind tears I refused to let fall. Not here. Not in this building where she cleaned up after rich kids who looked right through her. Mom pulled me into a supply closet. The smell of bleach burned my nose. Talk to me. So I did. I told her everything. The accusation. The suspension. Emma Peterson's lies. By the time I finished, Mom's hands were shaking. They can't do this, she whispered. That scholarship is yours. You earned it. It doesn't matter what I earned. It matters what they can prove I took. Mom cupped my face in her rough, chemical-scarred hands. Listen to me. We don't give up. We fight. You hear me? We fight. But fighting required lawyers. Fighting required money. Fighting required power we didn't have. We went home to our tiny apartment above the laundromat. The walls were thin enough to hear conversations from next door. The ceiling leaked when it rained. But it was ours. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying the exam in my head. Seat 14. Emma to my left. The questions weren't hard. I'd studied them all. Every formula, every theorem, every historical date. I didn't need to cheat. I never needed to cheat. But Emma did. The thought hit me like lightning. I sat up in bed, my mind racing. Emma Peterson was smart, but she wasn't brilliant. She was good at memorizing, but terrible at understanding. I'd tutored her once in sophomore year before she suddenly got too busy. Her grades were always just high enough to stay in honors classes, but never exceptional. Until this year. This year, Emma's scores had jumped dramatically. High enough to compete with mine. High enough to make teachers whisper about her late bloom. High enough to almost win the scholarship. Almost. I grabbed my phone and texted my best friend Marcus. He answered immediately. "You okay?" Heard what happened. Total BS. I need to see Emma's exam papers from this semester. All of them. How am I supposed to get those? Your sister works in the office. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. This is risky, Grace. So is being called a cheater. Okay. Give me 2 days. I set the phone down, my hands still shaking. 2 days. The hearing was in 3. Morning came too fast. Mom left for work before sunrise. I stayed home, suspended, watching the clock tick by. Every minute felt like an hour. Every hour felt like a day. Marcus called that afternoon. I got something. You need to see this. We met at the public library, far from school, far from anyone who might recognize us. Marcus pulled out a folder, glancing around like we were in a spy movie. "These are copies," he said. "Emma's exam papers from the last 3 months." I spread them across the table. My hands were trembling as I went through each one. Math, science, history, English. And there it was. The handwriting changed. Not dramatically, but enough. The answers were too perfect, too complete, too identical to the answer keys. In English, she quoted entire paragraphs from analysis guides word for word. In science, she used terminology she'd never understood when I tutored her. "She's been cheating," I whispered. "All year." Marcus leaned in. "How?" "I don't know. But look at this." I pointed to the chemistry exam. This answer is copied directly from Dr. Rahman's study guide. Emma wasn't even in class that day. I remember because Mrs. Peterson called her out sick. So someone gave her the answers. Or someone took the test for her. We stared at each other. The implications were massive. If Emma had been cheating all year, if someone had been helping her, if the school knew or suspected or turned a blind eye because her mother was the principal. "We need more proof," Marcus said. "This isn't enough. They'll just say you're trying to deflect." He was right. We needed something concrete. Something undeniable. "The school has cameras," I said slowly. "In the exam hall. They erased those after 30 days. But the exam was 2 weeks ago." Marcus's eyes widened. "You want to break into the security office?" "I want to see the truth. Grace, if we get caught. We won't." Famous last words. That night, we waited until the cleaning crew finished. Mom had already gone home, exhausted from her shift. The school was dark, empty, haunted by the ghosts of students who belonged there more than I ever would. Marcus picked the lock on the side entrance. His older brother taught him before he went to prison. Some skills run in families. The security office was on the 2nd floor. We moved through hallways I'd walked 1,000 times, now foreign and threatening in the darkness. Every shadow looked like a guard. Every creak sounded like footsteps. The office door was unlocked. Inside, monitors glowed with live feeds from around the school. The exam hall. The cafeteria. The parking lot. All empty. "There," I whispered, pointing to a computer in the corner. "That's the archive system." Marcus sat down, fingers flying across the keyboard. He'd learned coding from YouTube videos, teaching himself because the school's computer classes were full. Another thing denied to kids like us. What date was the exam? April 23rd. He typed, clicked, waited. The screen loaded slowly, buffering like it was fighting us. Then the video appeared. The exam hall. Rows of desks. Students bent over papers. The timestamp showed 10:17 a.m. right in the middle of the test. "There's me," I said, pointing to a figure in the middle row. "Seat 14. We watched in silence. I saw myself writing, erasing, thinking. Normal test behavior. Focused. Concentrated. Then I saw Emma. She wasn't looking at her paper. She was looking at her phone. Marcus. I see it. Emma had her phone hidden under her desk. Every few minutes, she glanced down at it, then wrote something on her exam. She wasn't looking at my paper. She was looking at answers someone was sending her. "Go back," I said. "Show me earlier in the test." Marcus rewound the footage. At 9:54 a.m., Mrs. Peterson entered the exam hall. She walked past the proctor, said something to him, then went to Emma's desk. She leaned down, whispered something, then left. 30 seconds later, Emma pulled out her phone. "Oh my God," Marcus breathed. Her own mother helped her cheat. My chest felt tight. My vision blurred. Everything I'd worked for, everything I'd sacrificed, every late night studying while Mom worked double shifts, all of it stolen by people who already had everything. "Copy this," I said. "All of it. Every angle, every timestamp." Marcus pulled out a flash drive. The computer hummed as it transferred files. Outside, a car drove past. We both froze, holding our breath until the sound faded. "Done," Marcus said, pocketing the drive. "Let's go." We made it halfway down the hall before the lights came on. "Stop right there." A security guard stood at the end of the corridor, flashlight pointed at our faces. Behind him, Mrs. Peterson emerged from the shadows. Mrs. Peterson smiled like a cat who just cornered two mice. "Breaking and entering," she said softly. "Theft of school property. Tampering with security footage." She walked toward us slowly, heels clicking on the tile floor. "Grace Okoro, you've really outdone yourself this time." My heart was slamming against my ribs. Marcus's hand found mine and squeezed. The flash drive felt like fire in his pocket. "We didn't steal anything," I said. My voice shook, but I kept my chin up. "We were looking for the truth." "The truth?" Mrs. Peterson laughed. It was a sharp, cruel sound. "The truth is you're a desperate girl who can't accept that she's been caught. First cheating, now this? The scholarship committee will love hearing about this." "Then they should also hear about your daughter," I said. The words came out before I could stop them. "They should hear about how you helped Emma cheat. How you've been helping her all year." Mrs. Peterson's face went white, then red. For a second, I thought she might hit me. "You have no proof of that." "Actually," Marcus started. "Quiet." The security guard stepped forward. His name was Mr. Davis. He'd always been kind to me before, smiling when I stayed late to study in the library. Now his face was stone. "You kids need to come with me." "Wait." A new voice echoed down the hallway. We all turned. A woman stepped out of the darkness. She was black, older, wearing a janitor's uniform. But her eyes were sharp, intelligent, burning with something I couldn't name. "Miss Williams." Mrs. Peterson's voice had an edge now. "This doesn't concern you." "Actually, it does." Ms. Williams walked toward us, her keys jangling at her hip. "I've been cleaning this school for 15 years. I know every corner, every office, every secret." She looked at Mrs. Peterson. "Including yours." The air in the hallway went electric. "I've been watching you," Ms. Williams continued. Watching how you treat students like Grace. How you push them down to lift your daughter up. I've seen the grade changes. The missing records. The private tutors you hire with school funds. That's enough, Mrs. Peterson snapped. You're fired. Fire me if you want. But I already sent emails to the school board, to the scholarship committee, to the local news. Ms. Williams smiled. With evidence. Mrs. Peterson's face crumbled. You have nothing. I have 12 years of doctor transcripts. I have bank records showing payments to teachers for grade changes. I have video footage from tonight showing you entering the building right after these kids did, like you were waiting to catch them. Ms. Williams pulled out her phone. And I have testimony from 6 other students whose grades mysteriously dropped when Emma needed to rank higher. The silence was deafening. Marcus found his voice first. Why didn't you say something before? Ms. Williams looked at me. Because I needed proof that would stick. Rich white folks don't go down easy. You need everything perfect, every detail checked, every angle covered. She turned back to Mrs. Peterson. But Grace gave me the final piece tonight. That flash drive Marcus is carrying? I know what's on it. I've seen the same footage. How? I started. I told you. I know every corner of this school, including the backup security system the board installed last year that Mrs. Peterson doesn't know about. Ms. Williams's smile widened. High definition. Cloud storage. Every exam, every hallway, every private conversation in offices that aren't as soundproof as people think. Mrs. Peterson looked like she might be sick. This is entrapment. You set us up. No, Ms. Williams said firmly. You set yourself up. I just documented it. The security guard cleared his throat. Mrs. Peterson, maybe we should call the real police. Don't you dare, Mrs. Peterson hissed. But Mr. Davis was already pulling out his radio. This is above my pay grade. Way above. Everything happened fast after that. Real police came. Questions were asked. Statements were taken. Marcus and I sat in the library while officers went through security footage, computer files, email records. Ms. Williams sat with us, calm and quiet, like she'd been preparing for this moment for years. Why did you help us? I asked her. She was quiet for a long time. Then she said, I had a daughter once. Smart girl. Brilliant. She got into a good school on scholarship, just like you were supposed to. Her voice cracked. But people like Mrs. Peterson made her life so hard, accused her of things she didn't do, pushed her down so many times that she gave up, dropped out, lost her scholarship. Ms. Williams wiped her eyes. She died 2 years ago. Car accident. But I always wondered if things would have been different if someone had fought for her. My throat burned. I reached out and took her hand. I'm sorry, I whispered. Don't be sorry. Be better. Be stronger. Be everything they say you can't be. The police talked to Mrs. Peterson for hours. By sunrise, she was in handcuffs. Emma was brought in, crying, saying she didn't know, it wasn't her fault, her mother made her do it. But the evidence was clear. The phone records. The text messages. The payment trail to teachers. The story exploded by Monday morning. News vans parked outside the school. Reporters shouted questions. Students gathered in groups, whispering, pointing. The school board held an emergency meeting. I stayed home with Mom, watching it all unfold on TV. She held me tight, crying into my hair, saying she was sorry, she should have fought harder, she should have done more. You did everything, I told her. You worked 3 jobs so I could study. You sacrificed everything. This isn't on you, Mom. This is on them. The scholarship committee called that afternoon. A woman with a kind voice said they'd reviewed everything. The accusation against me was being dropped. The scholarship was mine. They were also investigating other cases where the Peterson family might have interfered with student records. I should have felt victorious. I should have felt vindicated. Instead, I just felt tired. The hearing that was supposed to happen never did. Mrs. Peterson resigned under pressure. Emma was transferred to another school. 3 teachers were suspended pending investigation. The school hired a new principal, a black woman named Dr. Johnson, who promised things would change. Ms. Williams was offered a better position in the district office. She turned it down. "I'm staying here," she said when I asked why. "These kids need someone watching out for them. Someone who knows what it's like to be overlooked and underestimated." School reopened 2 weeks later. Walking back through those doors felt strange. Some students congratulated me. Others avoided eye contact, embarrassed they'd believed the lies. A few still muttered that I'd gotten lucky, that I'd played the race card, that this was all politics. But most just saw me as I was, a girl who worked hard and deserved what she earned. Marcus was waiting at my locker. "You ready for this?" "No," I admitted. "But I'm here anyway." He grinned. "That's the Grace I know." We walked to class together. I sat in the front row like always, opened my notebook, picked up my pen. The teacher started talking about calculus, about limits and derivatives, about problems that had solutions if you just knew where to look. I took notes furiously, my hand flying across the page. This was what I loved. Learning. Growing. Pushing my brain to understand things that seemed impossible at first glance. After class, Dr. Johnson called me to her office. She was younger than Mrs. Peterson, with warm eyes and a bright smile. "Grace, I wanted to talk to you about your future." My stomach tightened. Is something wrong? No, nothing wrong. She gestured for me to sit. "I've been looking at your record. Your grades are exceptional. Your test scores are off the charts. That scholarship you won? It's just the beginning." She pulled out a folder. Inside were letters from universities. Big names. Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Columbia. "They've all been following your story," Dr. Johnson said. "They want to meet you. Several are offering full rides plus stipends. One even offered to cover housing for your mother." I stared at the letters, unable to process what I was seeing. This is real. Very real. Dr. Johnson leaned forward. "Grace, you've been fighting so hard just to stay in the game. But you're not meant to just survive. You're meant to soar. These schools see that. I see that." She paused. "The question is, do you see it?" I thought about my mother scrubbing toilets. I thought about Ms. Williams and her lost daughter. I thought about every late night studying, every scholarship application, every moment I doubted myself because the world kept telling me I wasn't good enough. "Yes," I said. My voice was steady now. Strong. "I see it." Dr. Johnson smiled. "Good. Because I'm assigning you a mentor. Someone who came from similar circumstances and made it big. You'll also be giving a speech at graduation about perseverance and justice. Your story needs to be heard. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Nobody ever is. But you'll do it anyway. That's what makes you extraordinary." I left her office feeling like I was walking on air. The hallways didn't seem so threatening anymore. The stairs didn't feel so heavy. I was still me, still Grace Okoro, daughter of a cleaning woman, girl from the wrong side of town. But I was also more than that. I was a survivor, a fighter, a winner. Mom cried when I told her about the university offers. Happy tears this time, streaming down her face as she hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. "My baby," she kept saying. "My brilliant, beautiful baby. Our lives are going to change," I told her. "You won't have to clean anymore. You won't have to work 3 jobs. We're going to be okay, Mom. Better than okay." She pulled back, cupping my face like she did when I was little. "We've always been okay, baby. Because we have each other. Everything else is just extra. But the extra mattered. The extra meant security, comfort, freedom. The extra meant Mom could retire someday, could travel, could rest her tired bones. The extra meant I could help other kids like me. Graduation came in June. I walked across that stage in a cap and gown that Ms. Williams had helped me pay for. The crowd cheered. Mom screamed my name. Marcus whistled so loud people 3 rows back jumped. When it was time for my speech, I walked to the podium with my heart in my throat. The auditorium was packed. Parents, teachers, students, reporters. Everyone wanted to hear what the girl from the scandal had to say. I cleared my throat and began. My name is Grace Okoro, and I was almost destroyed by lies. The room went silent. I stood in this school, accused of cheating, stripped of my scholarship, suspended from classes. All because someone with more power decided I was a threat. Not because I did anything wrong, but because I did everything right. I saw Mom in the 3rd row, dabbing her eyes with tissue. I learned something important through all of this. The world isn't fair. Systems aren't fair. People with power will protect that power, even if it means crushing people who deserve better. I paused. But here's the thing they don't tell you. You're stronger than you think. Your truth is louder than their lies. Your merit is bigger than their manipulation. Applause started somewhere in the back. I'm not special. I'm not superhuman. I'm just a girl who refused to accept injustice. Who kept fighting even when fighting seemed pointless. Who believed in herself when nobody else did. My voice grew stronger. And if I can do it, so can you. Every single person in this room who feels overlooked, underestimated, pushed aside, you matter. Your story matters. Your future matters. The applause grew louder. Mrs. Peterson tried to take my future. She failed. Because my future was never hers to take. It was always mine. It was always earned. It was always deserved. I looked directly at the camera recording this. To anyone watching who thinks they can steal what someone earned, who thinks privilege protects them from consequences, who thinks justice doesn't matter, you're wrong. Truth wins. Eventually, always, truth wins. The auditorium exploded with applause. People stood. Some cried. Mom was sobbing openly now, pride radiating from her face. I walked off that stage knowing I'd said what needed to be said. Knowing somewhere, some other girl facing similar battles would hear my words and find strength. After graduation, I spent the summer working with Dr. Johnson on a new initiative. We created a mentorship program for students from low-income families. Ms. Williams helped run it. Marcus volunteered. Even some of the teachers who'd stayed quiet during the scandal showed up to help, apologizing for their silence. Emma Peterson sent me a letter in July. Her handwriting was shaky. Grace, I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't even expect you to read this. But I need to say I'm sorry. My mother pushed me so hard to be perfect that I forgot what perfect actually meant. I let her manipulate me. I let her manipulate you. I was weak when you were strong. I cheated when you earned. I don't know if I'll ever forgive myself, but I wanted you to know I'm in therapy now. I'm at a new school where nobody knows who I am. I'm starting over, the right way this time. I hope you get everything you deserve. You already earned it. I read that letter 3 times. Then I wrote back. Emma, I forgive you. Not because you deserve it, but because I refuse to carry anger into my future. You were a victim too, just a different kind. Your mother's pressure. Your mother's ambition. Your mother's fear that you wouldn't measure up. I hope you find peace. I hope you find yourself. And I hope one day you can look in the mirror and be proud of who you see. I never heard back from her. But I hoped she got the message. August came. Time to leave for university. I'd chosen Columbia. Close enough to visit Mom, far enough to feel like independence. The morning I left, Our whole apartment building came out to say goodbye. Neighbors I'd known my whole life, people who'd watched me grow up, everyone crying and hugging and wishing me well. Ms. Williams gave me a necklace. "My daughter's," she said. "She'd want you to have it." I put it on and never took it off. Marcus drove me to the train station. We didn't talk much. Didn't need to. 15 years of friendship doesn't require constant words. At the platform he finally spoke. "You're going to change the world, Grace." "I'm just going to college." "Nah." He shook his head. "You're going to be something bigger. I can feel it. 10 years from now, I'll be telling people I knew you back when." I hugged him tight. "You'll always know me. Distance doesn't change that. Promise. Promise." The train pulled away, and I watched the city shrink behind me. Everything I knew, everything I loved, growing smaller. But ahead, through the window, the horizon stretched wide and endless. Mom had packed me lunch. I opened it to find her famous jollof rice, still warm, wrapped in foil with a note tucked inside. "My Grace, you carry our whole family's dreams with you. Your grandmother would be so proud. Your father, wherever he is, would be proud too. But most of all, I am proud. Not because you won, but because you never stopped being you. Stay kind. Stay hungry. Stay true. The world needs more Grace Okoros. Love. Mom." I cried reading that note. Good tears. Healing tears. Tears of a girl who'd survived a battle she never asked for and came out stronger. Columbia was everything I dreamed and nothing I expected. The campus was huge, beautiful, intimidating. Students rushed past speaking different languages, carrying expensive textbooks, wearing clothes I couldn't afford. But I belonged here. The scholarship proved it. My grades proved it. My survival proved it. I studied psychology and education. I wanted to understand why systems failed kids like me. I wanted to learn how to build better ones. My professors loved my passion. My classmates respected my drive. I made new friends. People from all over the world who had their own stories of fighting, surviving, winning. But I never forgot where I came from. Every weekend, I took the train home, helped Mom with groceries, visited the mentorship program, talked to students who saw themselves in my story. One girl, 12 years old, told me she wanted to be a lawyer. "Because of you," she said. "Because you showed me we can fight back." That's when I knew. This was bigger than me. Bigger than one scholarship or one scandal. This was about breaking cycles, changing narratives, proving that where you start doesn't determine where you finish. I graduated from Columbia 4 years later with honors. Mom sat in the front row again, this time wearing a dress I'd bought her, tears streaming down her face. Ms. Williams came. Marcus came. Dr. Johnson came. Even Mr. Davis, the security guard, showed up. "You did it," Mom whispered after the ceremony. "You really did it." "We did it," I corrected. "None of this happens without you." I got job offers from schools, nonprofits, think tanks. Everyone wanted the girl who'd beaten the system. But I chose something different. I went back to Westfield Academy. Dr. Johnson hired me as an assistant counselor. My job was simple. Advocate for students who couldn't advocate for themselves. Make sure what happened to me never happened to anyone else. The first day back felt surreal. Walking those same hallways. Sitting in offices where I'd once been accused and humiliated. But this time I had power. This time, I had a voice. And I used it. 5 years later, Westfield Academy has the highest graduation rate for low-income students in the state. The mentorship program I helped start has expanded to 6 other schools. Mrs. Peterson served a year in jail and lost her education license permanently. Emma finished college and became a social worker, dedicating her life to helping others. Maybe seeking the redemption she couldn't find in herself. As for me, I wrote a book about my experience. It became required reading in education programs across the country. People called me an activist, a reformer, a hero. But I still saw myself as that 16-year-old girl, shaking in a principal's office, being called a cheater. The difference now? I wasn't shaking anymore. I was standing tall. I was Grace Okoro, daughter of Dorothy, granddaughter of immigrants, product of struggle, survivor of injustice, champion of truth. And my story wasn't about being a victim. It was about being a victor. Not because winning was easy, but because losing was never an option. The end.